Hi, it's a crafty chick. This is take two. The first video, I had to stop and start over. Sorry. So, this is my Friday Live, and um, I wanted to talk to you about the new catalog before everyone gets online. Let's give everyone a minute. And I have to fix my computer for a second so I can see everybody's comments. Okay. There. And I have it set up so I can see everybody's comments. Wonderful. So, still waiting for people to log in and join us today. If you want one of these catalogs, then let me know. It is the Stamping Up catalog for June 4th, 2019. Is that upside down? Let's see, or backwards, June 22nd, 2020. So, I definitely would love for you to get one of these catalogs. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my computer. To get one of these catalogs, it is a full color catalog with over 170 pages. How many pages? Oh, 212 pages of full color pictures of everything that Stamping Up has to sell this year. There's also a little something about the paper pumpkin in here, and about new crafter kits. So I will show you that. Let's see. Here we go. So we have the table of contents. And as you can see, I can't see backwards, so I will move this there. Let's see. So you have everyday occasions starting on page 12. And then you have love, thanks, and support themes starting on page 72. Anything to do with kids or babies starting on page 98. And on page 106, different kits that let you express your artistic expression. And then on 160 you have accessories and more. And then you have featuring, so you have bundles. When you see this little 10% sign, that means you save 10% whenever you order a stamp set and the framelits that go with it. And then this means this is a new product. And then here is where you can find any information online for Stamping Up products. It is a very easy brochure to go through. And in the front is a full explanation of the different types of stamps that you can get with each type of set. So you have the cling stamps and you have the photopolymer stamps. Also, there is a handy dandy color chart. This whole page right in the front. You can rip that out and paste it up on your wall or on your crafting desk and refer to it as often as you need to. And what I like to do is I like to either circle or put a mark through as I get each of these colors. And it really helps me to keep track of which colors I have. Hi, Kathy. Thanks for joining me today. I'm not going to go through the whole catalog. I just wanted to show you those few things. And there are a few new things that are in the catalog I'm sure you've seen. Other people post as well. And I believe I have posted a few things, but I just want to show you an example. So on a page like this, you will see the word suite. This is a Noble Peacock suite. There are a handful of suites. You will see full color pictures. In addition, you will see on this side of the page all of the options available to you. Oh, Texarkana. Woohoo! You're just down the road a piece. So you will see all of the different materials and products available that coordinate with this suite. And my favorite addition to this year's catalog is these big, beautiful pictures like this. A giant illustration of what is in the stamp set. That helps a lot. And another large picture of what the designer series paper looks like. So if you want a catalog, let me know. I have some goodies that I will include in the catalog. For example, this cute little sheet, you can call it a bookmark, what have you. This is comprised of the new in colors, and each one of these is an actual piece of cardstock. So it's the name and then the color. And then you can also go through the book and see what designer series papers coordinates with what colors. And just keep this handy. Put it right on the page as you look. That way you don't have to keep flipping back and forth. For example, any of these on page 166, 167. So we have the Dynaroar Designer Series paper. And right down below, it tells you the coordinating colors underneath the description. So it coordinates with Flirty Flamingo. I'm sorry, I can't see that way. Lovely Lipstick, Mango Melody, Old Olive, Pineapple Punch, Pool Party, Pretty Peacock, Whisper White, and the Dinosaur Suite. So, even though I went through that really fast, we'll do that again. So you can have your little sheet of paper right here and say, oh, it coordinates with the Lovely Lipstick, and let's see, this one, and this one, and this one, so you can see which new colors it coordinates with. If you already have used Stampin' Up! In the past, you probably have all of the other colors of cardstock that you can use to see what goes with the designer series paper. So reach out to me. I will provide my email below. It is a craftychick1 at Stampin' Up. No, I'm sorry. That's my website, a craftychick.stampinup.net. My email is a craftychick@gmail.com. craftychick1@gmail.com. The link is below. Less confusing that way. Then, today's project is going to be a little bit simple, so we're going to flip over really quick. There we go. And let me know if there's enough light for you to see what we're going to do today. I made a variety of these already, and so I would just like to show you these. And these are all of the new in colors. So using our color chart, I don't need two of them, you can see that this is the Rococo Rose. Do you see how easy that is? Now what is this one? You guessed it, it's terracotta tile. And then this one, I think is just gorgeous, is the Pretty Peacock. So as you can see, having those pieces of cardstock really does help. If you already have a catalog and you just want this, let me know. I can do that as well. And this one is Purple Posy. I'm sorry, my bad. Seaside Spray. It kind of looks like water a little bit. This one is Purple Posy because it's purple. Hello. And the materials that we use to make these cards in the online tutorial, which you will receive for free when you sign up for the class. These are the materials we are using. Let's see, where is my pile of paper? Here it is. Sahara Sand. That's the background paper. Sahara Sand. And that is 121043. And then we're also using the different in colors. And we are also using this lovely dotted polka dot ribbon. I'll have the list in PDF available to you when I edit and post this video after the live stream. And let's see, here we go. So it is in here. Here we go. This is the ribbon used in this project. It is the 5/8 inch or 1.6 centimeter wide polka dot tulle ribbon. And this is carried over from last year, so you probably have some from last year. The other item used is the center of the flower, and let's find that in the book. Those are the faceted gems. You get 72 pieces, and you get 3 different sizes. And so I used mostly the large or medium pieces in here, and you can get clear or gold, and I used the clear, and they sort of look a little sparkly too, even though they're clear. They look a little silver. And those are only $5. And the ribbon was only $7.50. And that, I believe you get 10 yards of that, which is quite a lot. That lasts me a long time. Yes, 10 yards. And the other item we use to make this is this really cool flower punch. This is new to the catalog. Sorry, there's a lot of glare. This is new to the catalog, and that's how we stamped out a couple of these and layered them. Now all the punches appear in your book on page 186, 187, and 188. Now there are several flower punches. I'm going to find this particular one. Here it is. This is called the Perennial Flower Punch. It's only $18. Now these are pretty heavy, and I think these are a good deal because you get these, there's really not extra postage included when you buy these. Your postage is the same no matter what you purchase. It's just based on the amount of the purchase. And this, gosh, that's so heavy. How much does that weigh? I have seen people selling these after they are discontinued, obviously. And then they want price plus shipping. Okay. This is 1 pound and 2.1 ounces. Wow. Okay, that is a lot. That's a pound. And I love these because they're quick, quick, quick. So we'll use those. And of course the Whisper White cardstock, which which we always have on hand. That is, oh, that's my shimmery white. Where is my plain white? These bags look similar. That is 100730. Sorry, I did not have this ready for you. You will find all of the in-color paper, markers, and everything else you need on page 164. So if you go to 164, everything you need that you can buy in the colors, it's all on one page. So that's cool too. Let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, we're going to need a piece of Sahara sand cardstock. And, oh, almost forgot. So with the floral petal is this Floral Essence stamp set. And I'm using this piece, All Days Are Beautiful That Begin With You. In addition, I want to show you something very, very cool. If you get the vellum, and this vellum is available if you do my paper share, but there's vellum available. It is pink vellum, very cool. And so I stamped on here using this stamp set, and you can layer these and make coolest little flowers. And these little doodads are also available. They're proper name is not doodad. It is, let's see, on page 106. Right, yes. The proper name for these are floral centers. So you can also find them in the back where you have all the extras with the ribbon, and you can also find them with the suite on 106. So we're using this stamp set and this punch, and when you order them together as a set, you're going to want to use this number, 151055. That way you save 10%. And the number for these little centers is 149442. And they're only $6, and you get 18 of them. We also have some of the ribbon, organdy striped ribbon that we can use in today's project if we want. I have no more of the dotted ribbon, but I have some organdy. We might substitute or just not use any ribbon. And then you have the Perennial Essence vellum cardstock. Let's get a piece of that. I have my handy dandy little paper holder here, and I have a link to where you can go to Nicole's video to watch that. And this is the vellum paper. It is really pretty, flat on one side and shiny on the other. So if you don't want to use this, you can always, the cardstock, you can always make flowers using vellum. You can make them using designer series paper, anything your little heart desires. Whatever you can cut out. Okay, I'll put those away later. Just put those to the side. Now let's get started. Sorry for the delay. We'll put these aside. And what I'm going to do today is a little bit different. I think I'm going to take one of these designer series paper and put it behind it. That might be pretty. So let's see which one we want to use. I'm thinking I'm going to use some of the Perennial, since that is this we're looking at. Ooh, nope, we're going to make the flower out of that. All right. So that is the Perennial designer series paper. Also, you can find it page 107 and also in the back where we looked at the designer paper. And it is only $11.50 for 12 sheets, and they're 12 by 12. Now this is a 6 by 6, so you get, this was cut from that large piece into 4 pieces. So that's 1/4 of what you get. And it is, I lost my place, 149100. That's the number. Okay, we're done with the book. Let's start crafting. And I know that may seem a little bit boring to start out with, but number one, it gives people time to come in. And number two, everyone wants to know what you're using on the product, and I will put that below. But I thought getting that out of the way, we won't have interruptions throughout the project where I have to keep saying this is what we're using. So let's get started. Now in order to get this, let's see, use my last piece of this. So we're going to take an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And this trimmer is no longer available. And I'm so sad about that. But that is how life goes. Let me move this out of the way. There we go. Sorry about that. And so use whatever cutter you have on hand. If you have the paper cutter from Stampin' Up, that's cool too. Since this measures 11 inches, what we're going to do is cut this in half. So half of that is 5.5 inches. So line it up here. And the great thing about this is you have the lines that go all the way down. So make sure it's lined up all the way down. Sometimes I cut crooked, but I notice if I focus on the whole page and not just the top, it actually does come out very, very straight. And then we're going to score. I have to find my tools right here. I'm going to use my pick tool. There's so many pieces to this tool. Here it is. That piece. This is the take your pick tool. It has a bunch of little pieces to it. My scoring blade kicked the bucket many, many moons ago, so I just used this in lieu of that. So let's find 4 1/4 and line it up all the way down, making sure, and then you can just go in the groove like that and score. There's also a scoreboard that we have from Stampin' Up, and it gives you a nice score. You can use that as well. So many options. And then I usually just keep this on because I use that to pick up all the stickies and so forth. And then the next thing we want to do is get a piece of white. No, we're going to get a piece of the background, which is, I have all these sheets. All right, here we are. We're going to use Seaside Spray. I really like this color too. Very, very pretty. So we're going to subtract a little bit so we can have it come in 1/4 inch. So 1/4 inch times 2 is a 1/2 inch, right? Because you've got 1/4 and 1/4 on each side. So we're going to subtract a 1/2 inch. So our first paper was 5.5 by 4. So we're going to subtract a 1/2 inch and we're going to cut 5. I'm sorry, it was 5.5 by 4 1/4. So it's 1/2 minus is 5. And then 1/2 minus 4 1/4 is 3.75. And cut. And that should fit right there. Ta-da! So there you got that. I like to cut all the paper first. And I gotta separate my cut paper from my scraps. I'll end up putting them away while we're doing this. I like to put things away and put them to the side when I'm done. It helps to keep me from burying my glue and so forth. Okay, now we're going to do Whisper White. Now this is 1/8 of an inch in on each side. So like before, you do one side, you have to do to the other. Oh, hi Beth, how are you? You know, I was wondering, is that pronounced burn or born? I wasn't sure how that's pronounced, even though we're in the same state. So it's 1/4 inch on each side, which means you're going to have to subtract, 1/8 of an inch on each side, which means you're going to subtract 1/4 inch total. Okay? So let's get our Whisper White. And I don't seem to have any small enough scraps to use, so I will just get a regular size 8.5 by 11. I must have used all my scraps. Okay. So the last one we cut was 5 inches long, and we're going to subtract 1/4 inch. So it's going to be 4.75. Then this one we cut at 3.75, right? And we're going to take another 1/4 inch, so that's going to be 3.5. And cut. And that should fit right there. Ta-da! Very good. I'm just checking because I struggle with simple math sometimes. So I'm saying all of these measurements out loud for myself just as much as I am for everyone else. Okay, and then we want one other piece of the Seaside spray. And we'll forget about that little piece. Okay, now, since this is only going across the white, we only need it to be that wide. So that should be 3.5. Right? Yes. So it only needs to be 3.5. What I like to do, just for the sake of, in case I mess this up, I usually just go a smidge over. That way it's longer, I can trim it, because otherwise if it's too short, it looks funny, not quite hitting the edges. But that's just me. And then it's going to be, which I can't remember, so we're going to go ahead and find out. That is, let's put it over here, that would be easier. That's going to be, it looks like 1 inch or 1/3 of an inch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So yeah, just 3/4. Okay, so it'll be 3/4 of an inch, which sounds too small to me, but we'll see. I don't remember. And I want to make sure to hold this tight. This is a little tricky. Why am I doing it that way when I can just as easily do it this way? On this side. It's easier if you cut smaller items on using that side of the cutter. There you go. Okay. Let's test this and see if it's big enough. Yes. See, it's just a tiny bit too big, which I like. Then I can slice it off the end. Like I said, if it was too small, you would end up with a piece over here and a piece over here. That's kind of tacky. It would be a total waste of my paper, and I would have to make another one. All right, and now we are done with the cutter. So the change we're going to make is we're going to use some DSP instead of this plain paper. I would like to see how that changes up the card. And this is so pretty. This is from the Perennial suite. And you have that side if you want to cut out some leaves. But we're just going to use this pretty side. The best way to use this and to conserve as much paper as possible, which we always want to do, right, is to line this paper up just to the edge. If you go all the way in, then you're wasting an inch of paper. So just get it just barely so it gets to the edge and press. And it pops out. See, I tried to get it close to the edge as possible, and I did pretty good. So we're going to get yet one more piece because we're going to layer. Now I'm going to try to get as close to that one as I can without getting a misshapen piece on the side. So you get real close. It takes practice. If you've never used a punch before, I recommend playing with it first. I just used old scrap paper. Anything that you're going to rip up and throw away, junk mail. So you can get used to it. And you can do any paper with this. It doesn't have to be crafting paper. And see, that's easy. There's our flower. Our layers of our flower. And we're done with that paper. Now you have a choice of different adhesives. You can use the glue. Beth, not correct. It's pronounced Bernie. Oh my goodness. I never would have guessed. How cute, Bernie. And you have this adhesive, which we're not going to need really. This is really actually very good for sequins and tiny little detailed dies. You also can use your tear and tape. And we've got some glue dots and we've got some dimensionals. So whatever your favorite is, that's what you can use. And then I'll show you how I do it. Of course, everybody can figure out their own way. For me, the easiest way to use these glue dots is just to find the spot I want and put the paper on here, hold it for a second, and then pop it off. I've seen some people push it on that way or use their little picky tool to take it off. I will use my pick tool if I need to wad it up into a tiny little ball because I want something small. But other than that, I will put it on. You just put it on the wrong side of your paper. Okay. So this will be the bottom layer, and we're going to take one, whoops, and we're going to place it right in the center, and we'll take the next layer and try to move it around so we get some coverage and place that in the center. Okay, so we have our flower, and then you can take any tool you have or just use your fingers. And I'm using a bone folder. Sometimes I do this before I put them together. Sometimes I do it afterwards. But if you do it when you put it together, you can kind of do them all at the same time. And then you put your finger in the middle, turn it, and just lift them a little bit. Now, the only thing is when you mail these, they might get smushed and flattened like this. As you can see, this one I kind of pushed up the edges and this one I didn't, to show you a little bit of the difference. This one kind of got mutilated a little bit in my box. So if you're handing it to someone, really puff the heck out of them. And if not, you might want to just puff it a little bit, just to give it some layers. Now, where are my puppy things? Okay, so we're also going to use these. These are the Perennial Essence Floral Centers that I showed you in the book. I wanted you to see just how darn cute these are. These things are so fuzzy and cute. And they do have their own adhesive on the back. Isn't that cute? And you just plop it into the center. I try to do this very carefully. I never press down until it's exactly where I want. I just kind of let it hover so it barely sticks. And there, that's the center. Squeeze. And it's on there. Sticks pretty well. So these are so cute. Just a little, maybe get you a closer look. They look real, don't they? I love these. So there you can see there's a difference. 2 flowers made with the same suite, the Perennial Essence suite. Now we're ready to put this together. I'm not sure if I want to do this before or after I put this. I think I'll put this on first so I can place it better. Now I did, let's see. Yeah, we're going to use this tear and tape. Now I do use a variety of adhesives when I make my projects. And some people use the same ones. I have different uses for different ones, so I'm actually not going to put this on here. If I were, I'll show you at what point we're going to do that. So I'm going to put this 3/4 of the way up, and see, I did leave it a little edged over, so I'm just going to snip that. I want it to be flush. There. I have a tendency to cut the top paper too short. I don't know why, since I measure everything. But this way, it's perfect. Now we're going to get our Floral Essence Photopolymer set. And we're going to take this one down in the bottom corner. Is that the one? Yeah. I think so. Yes, all days are beautiful that begin with you. So we're going to take that one. And I'm going to use, you can use either your block. So the size block that you would want to use is going to be this one, and you'll put it down like that. So I have this thing, if you have it, it's this one right here. Now, for some reason, this one block does not have a letter on it. I don't know why. I'm sure it is a manufacturing goof up, but there's no letter. So I would love to be able to tell you what letter that is, but there isn't one. I think it's C. Yeah, is it C? That's B. G. Yeah, I think it is. It's the one that's just slightly smaller than D. So here's the D and C. Or you can use your Stamparatus. And I'm going to use my Stamparatus simply because it eliminates human error. And I don't want to waste my paper. If I was doing a tiny little one, I would, you know, a little strip that I'm going to adhere on here later, then I might use a block. But since I'm using the paper that I'm actually putting on the front of my card and I don't want to waste, I'm going to use this Stamparatus. And so I just bring this around and pick up the stamp. And actually, let's see. I'm going to position it over here because my flower is going to be here, right? So we want it positioned right there. There we go. Ah, thanks, Kathy. Isn't that weird that mine doesn't have any letters on it? Look at that. None. You can see the Stampin' Up. But for some reason, there is no letter on this block. Oops, sorry, that was loud. And now we're going to take our, which I forgot to talk about, Seaside Spray. It is 150085. And I usually take this piece off so I can just do it this way. Tap, tap, tap. That should be good. And press. See, I goofed it up a little bit, but that's okay. I can tap it again and go back down. Nope. This is why I have to use the Stamparatus. I just don't like the way that all is coming out, but that's the way it is. Okay, so I made it wicked dark as opposed to the other one, which was really light. So this card is going to be a tad different than everything. And then always clean your stamps when you're done. That way they don't get stained if possible. Okay, we'll put this away. Now at this point, this is where I would put, oops, I got some fuzz on there, put the ribbon down. Now let's see, we could use this one. I don't know if this is going to cover it up too much, but see, it might go with it because we have that. And I think I'm going to do it. So this is at the time I would put the ribbon on here. And this is my little trick, so I don't have to make a bow. I go about a ½ inch to an inch more on each side and snip. And I want this to be right side down. And then this is the point where we would add it so it can be hidden underneath the white paper. And I like to use the tear and tape. It is called that because you can literally tear the tape off. You don't even need your scissors. So, whoops. I'm going to put a couple pieces on so it really sticks to the paper. And press it down. Use my pick tool, which I lost the top to somewhere in my bag of tricks. So I'm just lifting off the paper. Let's see, so I really need to press on that. There we go. There, easy peasy. Mine is on the opposite side from the Stampin' Up! Logo. Yeah, that's how mine is on all the rest of them. And it looks like they tried to. There's like a little bit of a, looks like a Y actually, or an X. But it is a manufacturing defect. But since it doesn't affect the way that I stamp with it, I'm not worried about it. Okay, so I put that on there. Whoops, making sure first that it lines up with the front of the card. Very important. Okay, there. Now, we're going to go ahead and put this, adhere it to the larger piece of Seaside Spray. And since I don't have any more, do I? I thought I had some. Nope. Okay. I'm out of my snail. I will just use some more of my Terran tape. Or you can use glue. Either way, just make sure that you get close to the sides and the corners and edges so they don't stick up. And see, that was so easy. I didn't even need scissors. I do like to press it a little bit with this to make sure that it stays on. And just to start peeling up. There we go. So what happens when you cut your nails down, you can't lift up the tape. There. And if you move that tool out of the way. Okay, if you can't eyeball it, let's move all this out of the way. Like you can, I have it facing wrong, right side down on purpose, because I try to eyeball it a little bit before I commit to getting it sticky. And then try to find that one corner, put my thumb there just to help align it. And once you get one of the corners and you straighten this side and you just let go, it automatically falls into place. I learned that from a different YouTuber, someone who does, who did I learn that from? I don't remember, but I thank you, whoever it was. Now, I'll take this. Oh, I know where I learned it, when I went to one of my crafting classes. Okay, and I'm going to cut a piece just about that big. And that's how I'm going to make my little knot. I have a real hard time with making bows while I'm putting it on. It does not want to stay. So I'm going to cheat a little bit and just add my knot. And see, when you do that, you can, before you make it permanent, you can kind of slide it and decide where you want that knot to be. And I want it to be there. And I'm going to cut that off just a little bit at an angle. There. Oops. It does not look pretty or straight. There we go. So you can still see the blue paper underneath it. Okay, and then I'm actually going to use a dimensional to put this on because I want this to be lifted just a tad. So you can use these little dimensionals here. And I'm just going to use the one. Peel off the back. And place it so it goes a little bit over the ribbon, and so it doesn't cover up the saying. I probably could have put that little saying a little bit lower, but that's okay. Now we're going to get our card base that we've put aside over there, our Sahara sand. which works very nicely to offset the rest of the card, doesn't it? And this time I think I will use dimensionals. Let's see how that looks. There's so many options when you're making a card that it's just so much fun to change things up a little bit. And I like to put one in the middle just so it does not cave in. There's so many options when you're doing cards. That's why I love it. And I love that Stampin' Up! Has so many different ways that we can adhere our paper together, and we can pop it up using little dimensionals. Okay, so again, I'm going to try to eyeball it using the wrong side and then turn it over to make the final commitment. Just put it right up against my nail. And if it's not perfect, it's close enough anyway. So there you have it. So there are different ways you can make the same card. You could also use this for the flower and this paper for this background. And you see, use different materials, different colors. And in my opinion, they all look terrific. And I again like how that Sierra, is that what it is? Sahara sand. I want to call it Sierra. Sorry. Sahara sand. Should remember that. It's Sahara Desert. Yeah, so the lighter color in the back, so you could use a gray or anything else that really makes these deep, bright colors pop. So that's today's class. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, when I post, oh, thank you, Beth. Again, when I post everything after the live feed has finished, I will provide all the info that you need in order to find these products online and in your catalog. And I will also post the link to my blog where I will have the PDF. In the past, I've been a little bit hit or miss with that, and I apologize for that. So this time I'm prepared because the PDF has already been completed. Sorry for that noise. So live and learn. I'm getting there. And thank you for joining me today for our Friday video. And I will be back on Monday to share our product of the week for next week and the different projects that we will be doing next week. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate your time. And this is a Crafty Chick signing off saying, oh, thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you. You know, I love thumbs up and hearts, so just click away. Oh, and also, if you want to share it, oh, so important. So, if you share it, I'm having a prize patrol drawing, and I have a lovely prize that I'm going to give away. These are so cute. So these are, where are they? I'm sorry, I have just so many cool things here. Here we go. So these are brand new. These are the flower faceted gems. And you could also put one of those on your card somewhere. Ooh, let's try it. You will get a brand new pack, not this one that I'm using. So there will not be one missing in yours. And this matches perfectly. So yeah, we could put it right there, or we could put it inside. That might be good. You know, as a little thing. I think I'll put it up here. That's cute. So go ahead and share it. And in next Friday's video, I will let you know who won this cool little pack flower faceted gems. These are a brand new item in this new catalog for the 2019 catalog. And I will put everybody's name into this random org generator, and the name I pick will win, and I will let you know who the winner is in next Friday's video. And the shares will not only apply to this video, but any other live video that I do on Facebook. So I will be on at different times every day during the week. I don't quite have a set schedule for every day. I am on Fridays at 3, that much I know. But for the rest of it, I'll try to do them at 3 o'clock every day, but I'm not sure. I think like 10 a.m. on some days and in the afternoon on the other days. Kind of alternating morning and afternoon. Okay, so now I'm really going. So I just wish you a wonderful crafting day. I hope you enjoyed this, and I really look forward to seeing some posts of cards that you made using this particular tutorial. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.